Okay, well, welcome to Aldermoor Community Farm. We're a 1 acre small holding here in Southampton, and very glad to introduce you to the farm today. All our chickens are free range. We like to give them a nice big space so they get plenty of fresh greens, find worms and grubs and things in the ground, as well as the food we give them. We've had a bit of rain recently, so there's a bit of a ditch here, and they're digging through there finding worms and things in the mud.
What I like about the farm is the fact that I can get out into nature and do some work without stress or pressure, and just be in a nice environment with nice people where we can talk and just have a nice sense of community.
Now we're right at the very top of the farm, and it's quite handy for us because the barn has a nice big roof and it gets lots of rain on that, and we've changed the downpipe from the gutter, comes along under the path and then into this ditch in front of us, so we capture all that rainwater that falls on the barn, comes into the pond and then overflows, and it's just gently watering the whole land from the very top here.
I was unemployed and I was looking for some work experience, and I met Richard through an invitation he gave to join his prayer group, and then he told me about the farm, and I was very keen to get involved, and yeah, haven't stopped coming, and that was a fair few years ago. Yeah, so I volunteer, well, I'm a trustee for a charity that helps people with addictions, and I myself have had addictions in the past, various ones, and now I'm grateful to be able to help others who are struggling.
Now if you sort of have a little look around here, you can see they've scratched up all the grass, there's hardly any left. They've only been in here 2 weeks. And there's 12 of them, so that's quite a lot in a small space. So they'll be moving tomorrow into this area to the right here, and you see how different that is. How much fresh grass and dandelions and all the other sort of flowers there are there. So they'll really enjoy that. I started the farm because, well, it wasn't a big plan actually, but I had this gem of an idea for an urban farm where I used to live on Clovelly Road in St Mary's, and moving to next door to this acre of land, it suggested itself really, like maybe we should look into that, and so I took the crazy step of resigning from where I was working and trying to start a community farm. They were here before they were there, and we've planted cabbages and broccoli and something called chard in the middle there as well, so they do the preparation for us. They're part of the team. I don't know if you can see those jackdaws over there, 4 jackdaws. Oh, they've flown away when I pointed at them. We have a bit of trouble with them because they come along and for some reason they like to pull up all our baby plants.
What do I see in the farm? Hope. Hope that even when the vegetables get eaten by slugs or something, that they grow back. And hope that actually if a lot more people were doing this kind of thing, that our planet wouldn't be such a mess. Hope that people can be healed. I've seen some of the people I work with really change as they've been here.
You might be noticing these they're called risers here. That's part of our irrigation system. So over the years we've built up pipes and sprinklers so that especially when they're young and you've just planted them out, you can water them very easily, and that means they get their roots established quickly and grow very well. Although we don't need it today, as you can probably notice the rain's coming down.
I first came here because my son died 2.5 years ago, and it's been a really traumatic time, and I kind of wasn't working, I needed something to do, and just really loved being outdoors and doing something purposeful. So yeah, and meeting and being around other people, but in a kind of not a heavy way. So yeah.
This is Aldermoor Community Farm Shop, and as you come in we have a lovely chiller with all our fresh farm produce picked this morning, freshly washed. I think that people should be aware of where their food comes from. rather than just grabbing things off the shelves. I think people should be reading labels and considering how far the product's travelled to get to the shelf before they buy it. We sell an array of locally sourced products. We sell dairy, cheese, milk, eggs, our own produce that's grown on the farm, cleaning products that are refillable to stop plastic waste, grow your own plants, vegetable plants and flowers, lots more.
Our core belief is nurturing the potential of people and land. You know, we believe that everybody has got great potential to be creative, to grow, not just growing things, but just to be a wonderful person doing wonderful things in their life. And the same for the land. We believe the land's got great potential. So we want this to be a place where people get the chance to explore what they like to do, what they're good at, and where we nurture the land, we help it produce, and we call it an acre of abundance because we think that there's a lot of good things coming here.
Yeah, I love it. The thing I like best though is digging, and it's mostly a non-dig farm because it's permaculture and it's all about layers. But so I've created a wildflower bed, which I don't know if you can see it, but it's over there, which I'm really excited about, and I'm hoping that they're talking about getting swift boxes up or something, getting birds that are going to come and feed from the wildflowers. So I'm very excited about that.
Thinking about our animals on the farm, we want to nurture their potential as well. So, and we want them to be doing what comes naturally as best they can. So I don't know if you can see behind me the ducks, we give them plenty of water. They love a swim and a splash, and fortunately we've got a spring on site, so we've been able to channel the water from the spring, make new ponds, make fresh running water come into all the different animal pens. So we like our animals to be in the best natural environment they can be. Our chickens are all free range. They get plenty of fresh greens and space. We provide them with a safe space and space to range, and so that's our philosophy really. I've heard someone call it, you want the chicken to express the chickenness of the chicken. You know, the chicken loves to scratch, it loves to explore, loves to find worms and bugs and things in the ground, so we make sure they've got plenty of space to range and enjoy being as they are.
Yeah, the farm has helped me overcome a few issues that I've had in my life with not believing in myself and my abilities, and it's helped me to have a nice place to come to de-stress and to just have a good time really.
It's been a very interesting year 2020 with the effects of COVID. We had to curtail our volunteering because we had to make sure we could keep social distancing. That's particularly tricky when it rains and you have your lunch and a tea break. You need somewhere indoors out of the rain, and that was tricky for us. That set a limit on numbers. Summer we can have more, so we're back to having our breaks outside and it's easier.
Yeah, it's really one of the things that was very special was when I first came, we used to have a joint lunch together, and people would just bring things like homemade bread or different things, and we'd eat together, and that felt like it was a really important part, and we haven't been able to do that, so I miss that. And there's been less volunteers, but it's kept going, and I've kept coming mostly, so it hasn't completely knocked the spirit out of the farm at all.
But one of the interesting things for me about COVID was a positive thing, was local people in lockdown were out having their daily walk and they came to the farm. They said, I've been meaning to come for a long time. So we've actually made more friends and our community has grown in that year. It also coincided with employing a shop manager and growing the shop. So it's been good for those people who've come to the farm because they found more products in the shop and a wider range of things. So in one sense, COVID has been good for us because it's shown the value of the farm in the local place, and more local people have got to know us.
Richard is great. Richard is a really good guy. He's very encouraging. He's a good boss, although he might not like being called boss, but he's a really good guy. He's very, very friendly and very supportive.
I think Richard's great. He's incredibly calm, and actually he sets the tone for the farm about being gentle with one another and listening to one another and supporting one another. So he's fab.
If you want to grow your own food, I think the best advice is to start. You know, what is your favourite vegetable? Find out about it and grow some this year. And that's always, you know, that's the biggest thing, is to start if you're interested in growing. And then you'll have some successes, you'll have some failures, things will grow, things won't grow, but you'll learn, and it's just a wonderful feeling when you've planted seeds and you see them coming up. Now practically, I would suggest growing some seeds in a seed tray on a windowsill is quite a good way to start, because you can grow them in a safe, warm place, not too hot, not too cold, not too dry, not too wet, and you can get them started. Whereas if you just plant seeds outside, sometimes the slugs get them, the snails get them, or it's rainy and they go rotten. So growing a few things indoors is a great start. And come on down to the farm and see what we're doing, see how we do it, because it's not that difficult. If I can do it, anyone can. We want to get a kitchen built on site. We've got a large barn which we could convert part of it into a kitchen and teaching space. And this is really important. If you're talking about sustainable food production, you've got to take your food from the garden into the kitchen, because you need to preserve it. You get loads of, say, spinach. We picked loads of spinach already this morning, and you can't eat it all today. You've got to either, you know, cool it down, but you can also pickle things, preserve things, and that's what we want to get into. So our long-term goal is a kitchen on site, so we can preserve things and show people how to do it. Well, that concludes our tour of Aldermoor Community Farm. Hope to see you soon.